My name is Emily, and you're watching Fluent Pro Hub, the space where we break down English learning in a way that feels natural, clear, and deeply connected to real life. Before we get into today's topic, I want you to sit comfortably, relax your mind for a moment, and allow yourself to simply listen. Because today, we're talking about something that almost every English learner experiences, but very few actually understand. That strange moment when you try to speak English and your mind suddenly stops. No words, no ideas, just silence. As if your brain pressed a pause button that you never agreed to. This happens to students of all ages and even to people who have studied English for years. And the beautiful thing is that there's nothing wrong with you if this happens. In fact, it's a sign that your brain is working harder than usual, trying to manage language, confidence, memory, and expression all at the same time. That's why today's session is extremely important. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this mental block happens, what causes it inside your mind, and how you can slowly remove it so you can speak English confidently without feeling stuck. One thing I want you to remember throughout this video is that learning a language is not a race. It's a practice. It's a process. And most importantly, it's a conversation with yourself. On Fluent Pro Hub, we don't rush. We don't panic. We take things slowly, clearly, and with full attention. That's why this introduction itself is longer than usual, because I want to create a calm space in your mind before we go into the deeper parts of today's topic. Often, when learners face a block while speaking English, they think the problem is vocabulary. They think, if I learn more words, I'll speak better. But the truth is far more interesting. Your mind freezes not because you don't know enough English, but because your brain experiences a small moment of overload. Imagine you're standing on a stage with hundreds of eyes watching you. The words you want to use are inside your mind, but they suddenly hide behind a curtain of nervousness. That same reaction happens during normal conversations too, especially when you think too much about grammar, correctness, speed, or judgment from other people. Today, we're going to learn all of this slowly and freely. Nothing will be rushed. I will explain each idea using real situations so that you not only understand the theory, but also feel it. And that's why I'm asking you to stay with me till the very end of the video. I promise the final part will help you see English speaking in a completely different way. Think of this introduction as us opening a door together. Behind that door, your English-speaking mind is waiting. It's not broken. It's not weak. It's simply locked by a few habits, a few fears, and a few misunderstandings about how language works. When you understand why the mind freezes, you gain the power to unfreeze it. You start speaking with more ease. You stop worrying about mistakes. You stop overthinking grammar in the middle of a sentence. You start speaking like yourself, not like a dictionary. In this video, we will walk through all the reasons, psychological, emotional, and practical, that cause this mental block. We'll talk about the role of fear, the pressure to sound perfect, the habit of translating inside your head, and the tension that comes from wanting to impress others. And slowly, as each point becomes clear, you will notice something interesting happening inside your own mind. You'll realize that speaking English fluently is not about memorizing complicated sentences. It's about building a relaxed, confident relationship with the language. So take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind soften. This video isn't a classroom. It's a journey. And I'm right here with you throughout it. From now on, we are going to learn English, not with stress, but with clarity. Not with fear, but with understanding. And not with pressure, but with freedom. Stay till the end, because the real transformation begins once we step beyond this introduction. Let's begin. Now that we've opened the topic, let's walk deeper into it, slowly, calmly, like sitting with a cup of tea, and finally, understanding your own mind. When you try to speak English and suddenly your mind stops, it isn't random. It's your brain reacting to tiny experiences you have every day. Think about something simple. Imagine you're talking to a friend in your own language. You don't plan sentences. You don't think, what should be my next word? You just speak. Words come out like water flowing from a tap. The same moment you switch to English, the tap becomes tight. You turn it, but water comes drop by drop. Why? Because you're not thinking in English, you're performing English. And performing always creates pressure. Think about daily life moments. Picture yourself at a cafe. The barista asks, "What would you like?" You know exactly what you want to say, but suddenly your brain starts calculating. Should I say iced coffee, cold coffee, maybe iced latte? Is my accent okay? Should I speak fast? Does my sentence sound right? These thoughts pile up in milliseconds. While your brain is busy checking everything, your mouth freezes. Another everyday moment. Someone calls you. When you text in English, you feel confident. You take your time. You can edit, delete, rewrite. But when you speak, everything is live. No backspace. That pressure makes your brain panic for a moment. It's the same panic you feel when a teacher calls your name unexpectedly. Your brain jumps into alert mode, and alert mode blocks language flow. Let's talk about translation. Many learners think in their native language first. Then, before speaking, They translate the sentence into English inside their mind. This slows everything. It's like trying to run while carrying heavy bags. Your thoughts become stuck in a traffic jam. First the idea, then translation, then grammar, then fear, then the actual speaking. By the time the sentence becomes ready, the moment has passed. Now consider grammar pressure. Imagine you want to say, "I met her last week," but your brain interrupts with questions. Is it met or meet? Should I say last week or previous week? What if it's wrong? Grammar rules start flashing inside your head like warning lights. And when too many lights flash at once, your brain protects itself by stopping everything. There's also emotional memory. If you ever felt embarrassed while speaking English in front of people, even once, your brain remembers that moment in detail. Later, whenever you try to speak again, your brain activates the same danger signal, even if there's no danger. You might be talking to a kind, friendly person, but your mind still reacts as if you're back in that old, embarrassing moment. Then comes perfectionism. Many learners believe, "I must speak perfect English." But perfect English doesn't exist. Even native speakers correct themselves mid-sentence. The pressure to sound perfect creates a tightness in your mind, and tightness always blocks flow. Speaking becomes heavy and unnatural, almost like you're trying to balance a glass of water on your head. Another simple but powerful reason is lack of real speaking practice. You may listen to English every day, videos, podcasts, songs. You may read English texts, captions, messages, but your mouth is silent. Speaking is a physical skill. Your tongue and jaw need training. If you don't speak out loud often, your mouth becomes stiff. It's like trying to dance after months without practice. Your body remembers the steps, but it doesn't move smoothly at first. Think about conversations with strangers. Even in your own language, you sometimes get nervous. Your mind pauses. You take a moment to think. You adjust your tone. In English, the nervousness doubles because you also worry about mistakes. You hear your own voice and start judging it. That self-judgment disconnects your thoughts from your speech, and your brain hits a temporary shutdown. And finally, overthinking. Overthinking is the biggest enemy of fluency. When you start worrying about how you sound, your imagination creates problems that don't even exist. You think people are judging you, but most people are simply listening. They don't care about your accent or mistakes. They care about your message. All these daily experiences, small hesitations, internal fears, old memories, translation habits, grammar, overthinking, perfectionism, and lack of practice come together to create the mind freeze moment. But understanding these layers gives you power. Once you see the root of the block, you can start loosening it. You can create a new relationship with English, one that feels natural, calm, and confident. This deep understanding prepares you for the practical steps that remove the block completely and help you speak English freely in real life. Now that we've explored the deeper reasons behind why your mind freezes while speaking English, let's bring everything together in a way that feels practical and comforting. The truth is, nothing is wrong with your intelligence. Nothing is wrong with your memory. And nothing is wrong with your ability to learn. Your brain is simply reacting to pressure, emotions, and habits that were formed over time. Once you start understanding this, you stop blaming yourself and start working with your mind instead of against it. Think of your English journey like learning to swim. At first, the water feels cold. Your movements feel stiff. You worry you might sink. But the moment you relax, even a little, your body begins to float. Speaking English works exactly the same way. The more you relax, the more your mind opens. The more you practice without pressure, the easier the words flow. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Fluency is not built through fear. Fluency grows through freedom. When you give yourself permission to make small mistakes, your brain unlocks. When you speak slowly, your thoughts have room to breathe. When you stop translating and start thinking directly in English, sentences come naturally. And when you practice out loud, even for a few minutes a day, your mouth becomes familiar with the rhythm of the language. There will still be moments when your brain pauses. That's okay. Even native English speakers pause. Even professionals pause. Pausing is part of real communication, not a sign of weakness. As you continue your journey, start noticing small wins. The day you speak one smooth sentence, that's progress. The day you understand a joke in English, that's progress. The day you feel less nervous, that's progress. These moments matter. They build the foundation of your confidence. And remember, English is not just a language. It's a bridge, connecting you to new opportunities, new people, new doors, new experiences. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving, one comfortable step at a time. So as we close today's session, take a deep breath. Tell yourself gently, I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm growing, because you truly are. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If this session helped you understand yourself better, stay connected. There's so much more to explore, and I'm right here with you on this journey. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, stay confident, and keep learning. Bye for now.